Hey, how y'all doing? I'm going to talk about something serious today, and that is racism. Here's the thing. If you don't experience something, you're not going to understand what it's really like. You're not going to know or be able to realize or pretty much identify the nuances to something. Being assigned male at birth, if a woman's talking to me about what it's like to be on her period, it's not something that I am going to be able to relate to. I'm not going to have really any understanding of what it feels like. Same thing when it comes to pregnancy, same thing when it comes to giving birth, same thing when it comes to being raped. I am not going to know anything about that situation. Even as empathetic as I am, I can try to put myself in that person's shoes, but I'm never going to truly understand it because it's not something I will ever experience. And that's what racism is like. If you are not the victim of racism, if you're not the type of person that the racism is directed towards, you are going to have absolutely no clue what it's actually like. There was going to be nothing in your history, in your experiences, that will relate to that experience at all. It doesn't matter how loving you are, it doesn't matter how caring you are, it doesn't matter how empathetic you are, so on and so forth. It doesn't matter because you will have nothing in your life that will ever truly relate to it or allow you to put yourself in those shoes. So, if I'm discussing something with a woman and she's discussing her period with me, or giving birth or pregnancy or being raped, I'm not going to argue with that person and think I know more about the situation, because it is completely impossible. And that is what racism like, especially when you're a black or brown person and you're talking to someone that is a person of color. There is absolutely no understanding they're going to have in this situation. That's why when you do see experts in racism or teachings in racism when it comes to people of color, you find that those people have studied for decades and decades, and they still will say they still do not have a complete understanding of it because it's impossible. So it's just something to think about. We've got a lot of arrogance out there. We've got a lot of ego out there and stuff. People who think they know stuff because they've been on social media and they can spout their opinion all over and get likes, and it doesn't matter how wrong they are about anything. And it's not like they're going to accept they're wrong, but that's what we're dealing with right now. So I just wanted to give you something that possibly will make it click in your mind, and why, if you're not a part of a certain group that's experienced something, you're probably never going to have a true understanding of it, and you need to default to listening and learning and not just saying. So have an awesome Tuesday. You're an awesome, amazing human being, and I love you so much. Peace out and bye.